I was proud of our team effort, especially our defense. I thought they played a really good game, for 4 quarters, got constant pressure on the quarterback, got a couple takeaways. It was great to have Cooper, obviously, back. His stat line was pretty impressive, and he made some big-time plays. I think offensively we started fast and then stalled in the second half and didn't probably perform the way we'd like to, but you got to give them a lot of credit. I think that defense has come a long way. I got a lot of respect for Mike and his staff, Ad and Dirty, for their ability to get those guys to play, and they play hard and they play the right way, and it's a good scheme, and so you got to give them a lot of credit. And but I also want to give a big shout out to our fans. I mean, I definitely was not expecting that many Packer fans in the stands. This is a tough place to play. It's extremely loud. And I was shocked when our defense was on the field and I could hear our Packer fans. So I definitely think that made a difference for us.
You guys are probably going to have to play on the road. When you get in the playoffs, you're going to have to be, road warriors. How do you like how you're handling these situations when you're on the road?
You must have listened to my post-game press deal with Larry. It's exactly what I said. I mean, that's the reality of it, more than likely. So, but we just got to keep stacking wins and try to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. But I like our guys' confidence. We came out, we started fast. We knew that was going to be a key to the game, to try to take the crowd out as best we could. And I thought, the first half was a pretty clean half. CV had a huge pick for us, and we were able to take it down in points, and get points at the end of the half. I totally mismanaged the end of the half. I mean, that was 100% on me. Just being a little too indecisive, putting it on Jordan, giving him a call at the line of scrimmage. It just took far too long. So that is something that can't happen, and that can cost us if it were a tighter game. So that one's on me.
Were you thinking they'd just get into field goal range and get into a half 17-point?
Not necessarily. It was a moment where I was indecisive, and then didn't want to call timeout because too much time had ticked off the clock, and then I should have called timeout and didn't. It was just poor management and something that can't happen.
And Jordan's checking to a play. Is that
Yeah,
what
he was. Yeah, I gave him free reign to get to what he wanted to, and but I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more decisive and had a play called for us. Got on the ball. Definitely did not want to give him the ball back before the end of the half, but once we got into midfield, we needed to be more aggressive, and that was just lousy play calling by me.
You could obviously see it in the stat sheet, but what did having Romeo back mean in this game?
Yeah, how about that catch, that second touchdown catch? That was big time play. I love how Rome works, and he's been pretty consistent for us when given opportunities, and he comes through. So it was cool to have him back out there, and it's hard to get all the guys the amount of touches you'd like to when you have a room that you feel is pretty stacked, and you got a lot of guys that you want to get involved, whether it's our running backs. Certainly Tucker Kraft made some big time plays, but that's a good problem to have.
With a young team, what is the process like of instilling that killer instinct when in games when you just go finish it? And how important was that touchdown to put a stamp on this?
Oh, it was big time because it felt way disjointed in the second half. I mean, that's the reality of it. And, again, give them credit. I mean, that's a good defense. But I thought there were some opportunities there we just didn't capitalize on. And some was just lack of execution, and other was terrible play calls.
How do you look at those pass interference ones to Christian? So, Jordan said he wanted to get the ball out there a little bit more, but he still gets it, in a situation where the receiver has some sort of an advantage. I mean, you consider those?
Are you talking about the last fourth down, or the last third down?
Well, was it the first half pass interference down to Christian when the guy was right in his chest? He said he wanted to get that a little farther down the field. But I mean, are those plays you consider good decisions on his part because he sees a guy one-on-one and thinks maybe he can get interference?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, if we have a lot of confidence in our wide receivers, no matter it's Rome or Wicks or Watson or Jay Reed, Bo, any of those guys, and when they get one-on-one ops, we expect them to make the plays. And then, I mean, a PI it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but those are some chunk plays.
Matt, what is it about Cooper? You know, I mean, he's a rookie. He misses 3 games, and then he gets in there and just has a huge high impact game. What is it about him that allows him to do that?
He's just a hell of a player, and I think Half does a great job of putting him in positions to have success. And it's been fun to watch and witness his growth. I think Campanelli does a hell of a job with that whole room. Those guys have all gotten better throughout the course of the season, whether it's Quay, whether it's Eric, whether it's Isaiah. They are all improving. Hopper, every guy in that room, and it's because of the consistent coaching that Campanelli does. And I think Halfley does a great job of, putting those guys in positions to make plays. And then Coop's a hell of an athlete, man. He's a really good football player. I think he's just scratching the surface of what he could become in this league.
Gino going down obviously changes the game for the Seahawks, but how about the sacks in this one? Was that just a plan before the game, or was that opportunity?
I think that's the plan every week, right? It's just whether or not you're able to go out there and do it. Yeah, obviously, we're always trying to get pressure on the quarterback. That's the number one way to disrupt anything on offense. So, but our D-line came to play, and they did a hell of a job and just got constant pressure. And you never want to see a guy like that go down. I got a lot of respect for Gino and just watching him through his career, how he's reinvented himself, and he's playing really good football. I mean, you're not the second-rate passing leader in this game for no reason. I mean, they got a lot of good players over there, and he does a great job. So hate to see it for him and for them to go down. We never want to see that, and it's unfortunate, but that is part of our game.
You guys are